Leon. This is Vivian. This is our guard dog, Sunshine. Say hi, Vivian. What's your name?
Leon Rogers.
And what's your name?
Louisa.
What's your name?
My name is Sarah Grace Rogers.
Awesome. Well, we moved into this house 1 month ago. We were living in a 2.5 bedroom apartment just a few blocks away, and decided to adopt a special needs child from India. And in that process, we found out that we really needed a little bit more space in order to accommodate the new child. So that's why we moved into this historic home. It's built in 1878 and has 6 bedrooms. It's been restored inside, but the outside is a little bit latchy. So let me show you what's going on. First thing that you'll see here is looking at this big red oak tree. It's at the end of its lifespan. It's starting to drop limbs. Those limbs go over our neighbor's house and then also over our house. That's definitely a huge safety hazard, especially here in Alabama where we have tornadoes and hurricanes all the time. Some of our blueberries we're going to plant, so that tree would need to come down. It's part of the outside of the house, looking good. So when you're adopting a child, you have to do a home study. And in that home study, they just basically make sure that everything is safe. There's no safety hazard. This will be one thing that we probably need to get fixed. Right here, the soil is being eroded because there's no gutters on the top. And so the previous owners put some rocks here to hold some of the soil in place. It's a big safety hazard. It can make kids fall down. This is the entrance into the crawl space. These doors are broken and need to have these bushes here to hold them back. That's something that we would need to fix. Here's the deck. The deck is 40 years old, has lots of loose boards. For example, right here, you can see just loose boards. The stairs are wobbly. This is our main entry point into the house. And definitely needs to be torn down and just completely replaced. It's got holes here in the bottom. And then I'm gonna shoot over to my wife here. She's gonna show you, this is my wife Damaris.
Yes.
Beautiful wife.
My biggest problem is whenever it rains, and sometimes it rains really hard here, all the water from the roof gets channeled into one big waterfall over this entrance door. And this is our main entrance, so we go through here all the time. And even with umbrella, there's no way of getting in here without getting soaked. So that's one thing we need to fix as well.
So we're going to move to the back. The previous owner cleaned heavy machinery, and so back here he had a lot of heavy equipment. That's why all of this is rocks, gravel. We definitely like to have our kids not to be able to walk outside, barefoot without having to wear shoes. They can't do that on the gravel, and they fall down and get hurt all the time. So we definitely like to replace this with grass if possible. This is the privacy fence. It's falling down in several areas. This is one of them. We do have a good chunk of grass back here, but the retaining wall that holds the gravel back is collapsing in some areas. It's very old and needs to be replaced here in the next couple of months to years. This part of where the privacy fence is also falling back a little bit, creating a little bit of a hazard for kids. So Here's that red oak tree again. You can see it a little bit better. The limbs going right over the house and over our neighbor's house. Definitely really our top priority right now. I'm gonna try to get it down before the tornado season. Hey Cleon, what do you think? What should we do with that tree right there?
Build a tree house.
Build a tree house?
Yes.
Do you like to climb?
Yes.
What do you think, Gracie? Do you like to climb?
Oh, yes.
Yep. These guys are natural climbers. So this deck has been here for 40 years. We're not entirely sure what is under here. There's some cement, but there's also pipes coming out. These are the old steps that used to be used, haven't been used in 40 years. There's pipes coming out. We're not entirely sure what they do, if they're still being used. Because the appropriate flashing wasn't used when they built this deck, there's definitely some entry points for little critters to come in that we need to patch up. Here's some more loose boards.
But kids love the slide.
The kids love to slide. Yep. And one thing that we'd also like to do is to finish closing this fence so that we can let the kids play out here without having concern for stray dogs or other people coming in. Just to create a safe environment for them to just run around and play without worry. We live in a neighborhood with lots and lots of stray dogs, and so this one used to be one of them, but we took her in. So closing that will provide a little more safety. Here's some of these supports that need to be enclosed a little bit to provide a little more protection. And here's that massive red oak tree stump right here that we thought maybe could be used to make a little tree house or something, if to get the top down and use the stump maybe for something, for a slide or for some kind of tree house or something. Well, anyway, we appreciate you considering our yard. We right now are putting all of our resources and efforts into paying for the adoption, and so we don't have a lot of finances to put into this yard, but we have to get it safer in order to be approved for the adoption. So if you guys could help us out, that would help us bring this child home a little sooner. We appreciate your consideration.